It's time to talk about breakaway gaps and balanced price ranges, and we'll be including a new PD array. Breakaway gaps and the redelivered rebalanced PD array. So most of you probably haven't heard about the RDRB or redelivered rebalanced PD array, and we're going to include that in this lesson, and this will be also very nice to include into your arsenal to identify certain breakaway gaps. So a bullish balanced price range by definition is a portion of price action that has delivered buy side, sell side, and then buy side once again. So in simplicity, up, down, and then up again. Inversely, a bearish balanced price range by definition is a portion of price action that has delivered sell side, buy side, and then sell side again. So in simplicity, down, up, and then down again. Now we've got this nice depiction of how it looks like with candlesticks, right? So we have this first candle going up, and really look at what it does, right? So it offers buy side, right? Making that wick up, and at this point when it's up here, it's a full-bodied candle, right? But then offers sell side again, going all the way down and then closing here. So what happened inside this wick, it offers buy side and sell side, right? So with the next candle open, it offers buy side once again. So again, think about that simplicity, right? It's up, down, and then next candle up again. So this piece of price action over here has been fully balanced, right? And then if this occurs and price action starts to trade back into this range again, it's already a balanced price range, right? So if there's a bullish fair value gap below us, this can remain open. Same for a bearish fair value, bearish rebalance, redelivered price area, right? This is a bearish candle, right? So what does it do first? It offers sell side, right? Full-bodied candle over here, but then goes back up all the way again. So what does it do when it goes back up again? It offers buy side, right? And then with the next candle, we've got this sell side offered once again. So again, think about that simplicity, right? Down, up, and then once again, down again. So this area of price action has been balanced. So this fair value gap will stay open because there's a balanced price range below it, the redelivered rebalanced PD array, right? So now we can, with higher probability, determine if certain fair value gaps stay open or not. You can draw out lines in this balanced price range, so this BPR for short, right? And then this looks like a fair value gap, right? But we know this is a BPR and it will be highly likely price can reject from this area. Same with the sell side, right? Take a line from the opening again. Same with the sell side, right? Take a line from this closing price of this candle and then the wick of the last candle, and then you got this redelivered rebalanced PD array. Now, how does that look like with a price action chart? We've got the US dollar index 4-hour chart over here, right? And then think about this. There is a fair value gap here, but it is a breakaway gap. Now, why is it a breakaway gap? We just learned about this new PD array, right? The redelivered rebalanced PD array. So again, this candle delivers buy side, right? Up, then down again, and then the next candle once again up. So we have up, down, up. Balanced price range over here. So if there's a balanced price range over here, this gap doesn't need to get repriced into, right? Because there is a balanced price range above it already. So price can reject, go into there and reject and continue its way up. And we can use this little schematic over here, right? Which we covered in the previous slides, right? Again, up, down, and the next candle up, forming that balanced price range. And again, you can see that over here, up, down, and then up again, using this as a new PD array, the redelivered rebalanced PD array. We've got a USD Canadian dollar chart over here. This is actually very nice, right? We have multiple gaps over here. We have a breakaway gap here, a breakaway gap here, So why is it a breakaway gap? Again, right, we have this candle here, delivering sell side, buy side, and then the next candle trades through it, delivering sell side once again. Over here, draw out two lines, closing price of this candle, and the low or high of this candle, right? We have this redelivered, rebalanced PD array. Price action trades up into it, but not into the breakaway gap, right? Because it doesn't have to be delivered in here anymore. The balanced price range is over here, so price has no business going higher if we are bearish. Really study this depiction over here, this little schematic, down, up, and down. And for bullish, up, down, and up, right? We can see it over here. We can also use this as a PD array on its own, so it doesn't need to have a fair value gap above or below it to be used. This PD array is defined as a redelivered, rebalanced. So we use RD, RB on our charts. We've got a Australian dollar, US dollar 4-hour chart, and now take a look at this piece of price action, and can you spot that redelivered, rebalanced PD array? Focus in on this little piece of price action over here, right? Where the eye is. We've got this candle up, down, and then the next candle up, right? Balance price range over here. So we have this area over here which is balanced, so we don't need to trade in this 4-hour fair value gap anymore, right? You can draw out the lines from the opening price of this candle into the lower wick from this candle, and then we have this redelivered, rebalanced PD array, and in this case it's obviously a discount array because we are going into premium levels. Again, with the USD CAD chart, 1-hour chart, look at this gap up here, right? Breakaway gap. Now again, focus on this piece of price action here, right? Down, up, and then the next candle down again. So balanced price range. You see price action taps into that area multiple times but does not go into that breakaway gap. We know balanced price ranges are a very strong resistance or support area, and then we draw lower and lower and lower. And this is not random, right? We have another breakaway gap and we see the same thing happening over here, right? Big wick down here, delivering sell side, delivering buy side, and the next candle delivering sell side once again, closing, and the next candle has a balanced price range before it, right over here. Next candle, next 1-hour candle drops, trades up into that redelivered, rebalanced PD array, and then continues down lower. Euro, British pound, 5-minute chart, right? Hitting a higher time frame array, right? Key level, starts to break down lower, displaces, and now why are we not returning back into this fair value gap? Because I think this is in premium, right? But remember, we have this new array, this new PD array, right? We've got this redelivered, rebalance again, down, up, and then the next candle down, leaving this portion of price action balanced. So this balanced price range should act as a resistance, leaving this breakaway gap, right? So now we can identify breakaway gaps, which is very good, right? Because sometimes we miss trades because we think it should go into a premium level in this fair value gap, but we're wondering why is this not hitting, right? And then we have our limit order in here and price moves away, and that's just a shame. But now we know balanced price ranges are the reason why some fair value gaps stay open and become a breakaway gap. We've got an example from Twitter. We've got a New Zealand dollar, US dollar chart, right? Why are we taking a buy from here and not from the fair value gap here, right? How are we trading this range? And we'll outline that in the next chart. First of all, we've got this high resistance liquidity run down here. Sell stops have been taken. Again, think about external range, right? Sell stops being order paired over here for longs on smart money reversal. Now, where do we spot this PD array? Failure swings up here. Where is that redelivered, rebalanced, right? Up, down, next candle, up, right? So we've got a balance price range down here, and we can outline that on a 1 hour chart too. Alright, so we have this gap here. Why are we not trading inside this gap? Or even inside this 1 hour gap, right? This should be a nice area where we can retrace into. What is happening over here, right? Up, down, and then once again up. So we have a balanced price range here, and you can see the wick comes into this BPR over here in this redelivered rebalance PD array. Put your eye on here. Outline those with the redelivered rebalance lines, which with the closing price of this bullish candle and the low of this wick from this candle, and then we have this array leaving all these breakaway gaps. Why is it a breakaway gap? Again, it's a balanced price range right over here, so price has no business going down here anymore. Let's use this little depiction over here, right, so we can see it more clearly. Again, I keep repeating this, but this is very important, right? We need to see an up move, then a down move, and the next candle needs to go up again, right? Up, down, and up. So we see that happening over here as outlined earlier, making it a balanced price range. Right, we've got a gold monthly chart over here. This is an example of a price move without a fair value gap. Right, there's no fair value gap down here, but this whole move happened from this area over here, right? And why is that? Because we had that redelivered rebalance PD array down here, right? Up, down, and then the next candle up again. So we have this high probability redelivered rebalance discount array, and this actually was the catalyst to go to this highs up here on gold. Another example, remember back for the Twitter example, right? The Twitter example we showed earlier on the daily chart. Did you see it? We can outline it right now. Again, high resistance liquidity run, right? Sell stops have been taken. Order pairing, again, smart money longs. But there's no fair value gap to take a trade from here. So why are we entering with this wick down here, right? Again, up, down, and the next one up. Leaving that redelivered rebalance PD array and outlining it with annotations. We can see price dips just slightly inside here and then continues its path up. Think about drawn liquidity, right guys? We have this failure swings into external range liquidity, and eventually we hit that target. Now obviously there are times when this will fail like every other PD array, but for the most part this will have a lot of success in framing a trade and or identifying breakaway gaps.